Hi, welcome to the show today. My name is Anisha Pindoria and I'm a Senior Program Manager in the Azure DevOps Community team. And today I'm joined with Romi in the studio. Romi, do you want to quickly introduce yourself?
Sure, I'd be happy to. So my name is Romi Koifman and I'm a Senior PM in the Azure DevOps reporting team. I'm super excited to be here today and share with you what our team's been working on, and I know you guys are gonna love it.
I'm really looking forward to it. So for this sprint video, we're going to be covering just some of the features released in Sprint 155. Sprint 155 has rolled out to all organizations, so you can start getting your hands on some of the features that we show today, as well as the rest of them by checking out the release notes as well. So let's just get stuck in, right?
Yeah, that's it.
So the first feature that I want to talk to you folks about is that you can now manage your pipeline variables within the YAML editor. Previously, you had to do this using the classic editor, but this makes things so much more easier now. So let me show you what that looks like right now. So I'm currently in my YAML editor here, and you'll notice that you've got your variables button at the top. So if I go ahead and click on that, this brings up the variables pane. And within that, you can see all of the variables that you've already preset or predefined, search them, you can edit, you can copy, you can delete these, as well as add new variables as well. So this makes things a lot more easier than having to switch back to the classic editor, which is pretty cool. So Romi, there's loads of stuff coming out from your team, right? And I would love to know more.
Sure. So I think that the main message that I want to drive today is that we are trying to empower teams that use Azure DevOps to use the data that they have to make better decisions and improve the health of their processes. So to do that, we are releasing 3 new reports that are going to be embedded right in the board space to let teams dive into the data and look at the progress of the work. So those are very common metrics that many of you know, like sprint burndown, cumulative flow, and velocity. There used to be in the dashboard already, but we heard a lot of feedback from you guys that you want the metrics where the team lives, which is in the task board, and that's what I'm going to show today.
Perfect. Yeah.
Okay,
let's
so let's
get going.
show it. So if you look at the board space and you navigate to the Sprints Hub, this is basically where your team manages the sprint. And so if you go there, you'll notice now a new tab that's called Analytics.
Cool.
In this tab, you basically can see the Burndown Trend for this sprint. So you can obviously change the sprint here and look backwards to the previous sprints as well. This is a great tool for planning throughout the sprint, but also as a retrospective tool, because you can look back, oh, this is our last sprint, and how did we do? And so, for example, you can see here that this team has been burning up quite steady, but at some days before the end of the sprint, they realize they have more capacity. So they scope the work up. So they took on more work, so they finish on time for the sprint. This sprint burndown is really cool because if you know the previous version, which was on the top actually here, it was really stale and it only was based on remaining work. So this is what's really cool about this new burndown is that you can basically decide what you're burning down on. So you can use simple like count of work items, or you can do more complicated like completed work, or basically any other field that is numeric that you can burn down on.
And this is so rich as well, compared to the little thing that we had at the top.
Right. So. It's fully configurable. So another example of like feedback we've heard is that the sprint has its dates set by the organization and the admin, but it doesn't always match the sprints that the team really wants. For example, teams use the first day to plan, and they don't want to see that in the burnout. So now what you can do is actually you can control it. You can control what dates are set in the sprint burnout.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Without affecting the overall like admin settings for the sprint. So those are fully configurable. If you click on that, it will also show you the details. It will open a new window with the details of the work items that were actually captured in that. It's super cool, super interactive. You can filter in and out all the visuals. Like, okay, you don't care about the scope, you can take it out so it focuses more on the data and so and so.
So it's pretty rich. I mean, because you can interact with it straight away within this kind of page, right?
Right. And a lot of teams use it as a stand-up. So for example, you go to the task board, you look at the work that's current state, like what's in each of the lanes and the columns, but how are you towards the end of the sprint, and how are you going to meet your like commitments? You can do it more easy now.
Exactly. And you can talk about it right there and then, right?
Yeah. So that is the first report, and it's under the Sprints Hub.
Great.
And it's available, so you should probably use it. It's amazing.
Check it out.
So the next one is basically for teams who don't practice sprints. They use more like a fluent way of working. So they use the backlog and the board on the Azure boards and backlogs.
Okay.
So if you navigate to either boards or backlogs, no matter what you use, the visualization, you'll see again the analytics tab. Those are very popular Kanban and non-Kanban agile metrics that you've probably heard of, but even if you haven't practiced agile or Kanban or any other method by the book, this is still super valuable. Yeah. So when you go to analytics, you can choose between the two reports that we have. But from the get-go, you see two main metrics. So if you just want to get a quick glance on how you're doing to this metric. So velocity basically tracks how much has completed sprint over sprint. So it's a metric that enables teams to plan ahead better. So if you look at how much on average your team is completing, you know how much you can have capacity for in the next sprint. So that's what basically velocity helps with. And the flow helps with understanding how work is flowing throughout the process and understand if there are any bottlenecks that are preventing you for having the throughput that you would like to and moving things around. Is there anything that actionable I could do to release that bottleneck? So let's click on the CFD right now and look at what it looks like. So because we're in the backlog level, you see here the backlog picker. So this is also new. Previously, there was just one level here. Yeah. Now you can basically play with all the levels of the features that you want and look at all of the levels, depending on who you are. A lot of people use features, some other teams lower granularity use stories, etc. So this is available. And another thing, similar to what we see in Burndown, it's the same principle. Everything is like configurable. So it starts with the time frame. How much time do you want to look at back? And the swim lane. So a lot of teams have different swim lanes, like expedite, all default lane, and so and so these are taken from basically the board here. And the more, I think, coolest feature of this all is the column options. A lot of teams have column options, have columns in their board that doesn't represent their own flow, their dependencies, or like even just the done. Like maybe you don't want to see the done, so you can filter it out and get a better zoom in into what you're looking at. Let's just zoom in just for a second so it's becomes more evident. So basically I can pick and choose what columns of my board I'm actually showing here. Again, same here. You could do it but just by one click and filter it and go up and down, like I said, from that. And one thing I want to show is, like, if you don't remember everything I'm saying right now, it's totally fine. We have a little helper right there. So if you click on that, we will gonna walk you through all of the experiences and explain to you how to read the chart and what could you do with it. So that's also like kind of
that's so handy because it's right there within the product itself, right? So you can learn whilst you're doing things.
So basically that's the flow. It helps, again, teams understand how much work in progress they have. That's a very, very, very important metric. And this is why we also added it in the top. Like, this is exactly how much work in progress you have right now. If you have too much work in progress and you don't have the resources for it, this is not a healthy state. And this is exactly what we want teams to know.
And this is what makes it visible to everyone, right? It's right there. It's right. You know, you can start actioning right there.
So last but not least, I mentioned velocity. So again, it's in the same, basically in the same card view. When I click on it, this time I chose to show you the features because, again, this was not available until now. If you would go to the backlog and the little chart at the top, it was only a requirement level. Basically, it shows you sprint over sprint, how much work has planned, completed, and also completed late. So you can see how much on average your team is delivering per sprint. And again, like in the Burndown, you can control what is delivering or what is Burndown, what is velocity. So you can control basically if it's just count of item. If you're not estimating features, you're just putting out there, you can know, okay, we deliver 3 features or 2 features each sprint. That's our capacity basically. And again, you can look at the iterations, how much iterations. We don't recommend looking at less than 3 iterations because of, seasonality and like just makes sense to have a stable. But you could do more than 6 and throughout a year. So yeah, again, this is super interactive, clickable, and it's, I think, very valuable for teams while they're planning.
Yeah, perfect. I mean, all of these reports that you showed us, they're so rich and just so valuable. And I definitely know that folks are going to be using it. So check it out. Let us know what you think about it. You've also got a sneak peek to show us, right?
Yes.
I'm excited to hear more about.
We decided to show you guys this. It's basically a sneak peek coming next. But we know how much you guys have been waiting for this. This has been our top request in the community, so I just couldn't help myself, and I just brought it in. Basically, what I'm talking about is roll-up. So roll-up is the ability to show a calculated metric on a parent item based on his children. So basically linking work items, parent-child link relationship. In the real world, it manifests as like I have a feature and the developer team broke it into user stories.
Right.
As a PM, I want to know what's the status of the feature. How much have we completed? I could definitely go and manually check the backlog and look at all the features, but this is what we're here for, right? So let's see how it looks like. If I go to the backlog, this is not available yet. I'm in the features level backlog. You could see that I have a progress bar. User story. Basically, this is the roll-up. What we're doing here is for each feature, we're actually looking at the linked items, the children item, and showing you how much has been completed. So, for example, here, this feature has two user stories. They're both closed, so it's 100% complete. This one is 28% complete because it has only 4 out of 14 user stories. And you can see this is also interactive. I'm not going to show more, but I'm just going to say we're going to come back with this as soon as we have it flesh out and show you all the options. It's not just going to be this. You can add more columns. So I'm going to leave you with that. Stay tuned and come back.
Just kind of whetting your appetite there.
I think this is to kind of summarize it. It's a little bit of a trend that we're trying to do, which is bringing the analytics into the product experiences and not into like this distant place that someone might go to.
Exactly.
Like we really want to empower the teams to have the data at their fingertips.
Yeah.
And we know developers want to focus on developing. So we want to just do that.
Perfect. I'm definitely looking forward to it. Really looking forward to it. So definitely stay tuned on all the sprint videos so you can catch more information on that.
Yeah.
So that's what we've got time for. We just touched the tip of the iceberg for some of the features released in Sprint 155. So let us know what you think about the ones that we demoed today, as well as checking out the release notes. You'll see the link at the bottom of the video as well. You can get in touch with us via Twitter or just via the comments underneath, or just get in touch with us via developer community as well. So thanks again, Romi, for being in the studio.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure. And thank you for sharing all the cool stuff as well that you have.
I'm happy to.
And thanks again, everyone, for watching. And we'll see you in the next sprint video. Take care, everyone. Bye.